these players will be performed. Game number 1 starts in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And this is the last match of the evening. So let's see. Will Tommy be able to win this game? The first game. Will Matt be able to win the first game? Again, from the current standings, it looks like it should be an easy match here for Tommy. But sometimes, you know, when you have desk players especially, I feel like that having a bad day can definitely lose you matches, for example. And we have a few players in the chat, like a few viewers. So welcome to Ivan and welcome to Krupp, I assume. And we have Ivan saying, oh hey, let's go. And we have Krupp saying, bro, mit Martin is gonna shred Tommy. We have to hope so. What's that in his background? That's 1.3, roll 1.1, and Ash? What the heck is Ash? Like there's a rolling, yeah, I know what that is, but Ash? I know tapping, but haven't heard of Ash before. Yeah, actually Martin able to get a small early lead in 128 to 153. It's a nice position here for Matt. But of course the higher the skill level, you know, the more you can make up on level 19 oftentimes. Because level 19 is when your desk control needs to be kinda perfect, you could say. I mean, of course, not as high of the level here as on PAL 19, but yeah. The difference is that on NTSC 19 you still go for Tetrises. So let's see how these players will get through out of 18, as we're not even at halfway 18. I'm already talking about the first 19 here. Still so much left to go here. 200k now for Tommy, 180k here for Matt, so Tommy now being around about 1 Tetris ahead of Matt here, who needs to clean up a few lines, while Tommy's board is just clean. Yeah, we now see a bit of struggles here on Matt's side in the board from time to time, as it's getting higher, but yeah, you know, amazing burns here by Matt, so nice burning that Matt is doing. Sack was probably prepared, so yeah, this is of course one of the skills that you need as a top level player, being able to get out of situations as efficiently as possible. And now Matt open once again, but Tommy already 100k ahead here of Matt, as we are at the 80 line mark, which means we have about 50 lines left to go of 18 speed and then 19. And next Tetris to Tommy. Tommy at 370, Matt at 300. Also Tommy having played 2 Tetrises of lines worth again. You know what I mean. He has played 8 lines more. And as Javanti also pointed out, cool to see that survival, yeah. I mean, survival is one of the skills where I'm like, you don't want that, because you just never want to be in a situation where you need survival skills, but it is, in my opinion, even more of an important skill than being able to play aggressive, because, you know, playing aggressive is something that you can just do with the pieces fall down that you need. But survival is a skill that really does test what you can do and what you can achieve. And how your death controls, for example, in this case. This because, of course, we are playing death. If you have rolling, then you could argue that it does test how consistent your 5 taps are, for example. But yeah. Tommy just building up a huge lead here, or sustaining the huge lead. He doesn't even have to increase it, as it's, you know, 100k. That's pretty much a lead where you are comfortable. Oh yeah, digging efficiency, of course, also is big RXS. And we have 428 transition here for Matt. And Tommy maybe getting the next Tetris in, yeah. So 428 for Matt, 546 for Tommy. So Tommy around about 120k ahead of Matt here, but Matt is having the issues on level 19 speed. That's what I pointed out earlier. 19 is when you need to have amazing death control, and that sadly wasn't the case here in this game for Matt, which means you have 1-0 for Tommy. So Tommy, feel free to top out. And Matt showed us a nice level 18 here in this game. Let's see if he can repeat that in the next at least 3 games again. Because you have a best of 6 over here in the Death Champions League. Which means that you have to win 4 games, then you get 3 points for the standings. If you got a draw, you get 1 point for the standings. Okay, Matt is ready. Tommy and Giovanni and Cox also saying the GGs in chat. And we have ready number 1 by Matt, ready number 2 by Tommy. So let's start game number 2 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris at the same time. Classic Tetris League raiding us with a party of 63. Welcome to Death Champions League. We are in match number 3 of the evening. Originally we planned 5 matches, 2 sadly didn't happen. But yeah, here we have Tommy versus Matt. And I believe you just had finished the playoffs of season 28 here. So congratulations to, I'm not gonna spoil who it was for the viewers over here who still want to enjoy the VOD, for example. But yeah, GG's to, you know who I mean. And we have a lot of people in the chat saying, go Matt, hi Matt, go Matt. So Matt has a lot of support here by the viewers in the chat. It is 46k for Tommy, it is 47k here for Matt. And Danny also saying, Scooty family loves Matt. All people love us, like everyone loves Matt. That's why he has all of the support here, but we can see Matt already going for the left. 3 high here is ready for Tetris, getting the bar and left well, dirty Tetris for Matt. Nicely executed. And Blue Scooty Grandpa also confirming, yes, we do love Matt. Yeah. I mean, Tommy already having about a 60k lead here. 138 for Tommy against 79 for Matt. Next Tetris just happened here for Tommy. Tommy now having played a Tetris more worth of lines. And we can see Matt finally being open once again here. And as RXS said earlier, down stacking efficiency also is an important skill. And one that you need to master as a pro Tetris player. And you can argue that the people who play in the Champions League are pro players. Early shift of Matt topping out at 87k. No! Oh, so unfortunate. Press the button like half a second too early. And this has led to Matt topping out in game number 2. And our left player, Tommy, being able to win game number 2. And it is now 2-2-0. And yeah, we have all of the no's here in the chat. Danny saying no, AV saying no, Scooty Grandpa saying no, Omar Redster also saying no, so yeah. Bit of a disappointment for the viewers here. Tommy also saying no, so unfortunate game number 2 here, ending in 2-0 for Tommy. Now we can prepare for game number 3 here. Tommy also saying he got this, so I mean, Matt just wants to do the reverse sweep. And welcome in the chat, PRW. We are in the last match here of this stream between Tommy and Matt. So let's start game number 3 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris, also for the viewers from Classic Tetris League. We also, of course, do have a Discord server. And we also have a match arena, so if you want to stay informed about the Dice Tetris scene, then feel free to join the Discord server. If you want to support the players, then feel free to donate to the prize pool. And yeah, over here at Dice Champions League, we play best of 6 matches. Meaning that if you win 4 games, you win the match. If you win 3 games, you got a draw. Winning a match does give you 3 points for the standings, and getting a draw does give you 1 point for the standings. And the top 12 are getting into a left high on Tommy's side, are getting into the playoff phase. Yep. And next Tetris to Tommy into 30k against 48k here on Matt's side. Next left well cleanup here on Tommy's side. IXS saying you guys should take my match with Rutschak right after. JK, I have a restream anyway. Okay, good. I could have taken it over here if you didn't have a restream. That would have been totally fine, you know, more matches, more fun, just what we need. And, you know, we do love our Tetris action. Matt being ahead by a tiny bit, now behind because we got the next Tetris. We have 60k for Tommy, 58 for Matt, so it is neck and neck here between these two players. Matt open once again here now. Getting the bar and Tetris to Matt, Tetris to Tommy, 88 against 85, it is neck and neck, and Matt has played 4 lines less, so at now the same lines, 88 to 107, so Matt has about a 20k lead in pace. And here we can see that this has been a bit of a suffer start for these players. So let's see how their second, third of level 18 will go now. Tommy also now open once again. Matt getting the next bar into Tetris into 177 against 137 here for Tommy. And Tommy now at 160. And next Tetris to Matt here. But also burning once again here, this could allow Tommy to get a lead in, as Matt is open at 63 lines. Next set is to Tommy. Okay, it is still pretty neck and neck between these two players. Tommy wasn't able to take advantage of that. Matt has played about a Tetris more in lines, so yeah, you can see 235, 233. Tiny lead here now for Tommy of a few thousand points. Next Tetris to Matt into 256 and 235 here for Tommy. One more Tetris to Tommy into 258. As we are now in the second half of level 18 in game number 3 here. Yes, so far the second half has been going a bit nicer than the first half, I'd say. But we are only starting the first half, and Matt trying to prove a point, having now a bit of cleanup to do once again. Or he is playing one high, depending what he is more comfortable doing. I'd normally recommend playing one high, and it looks like that's what he is doing. In the meantime, you can see over there on Tommy's side that Tommy is now cleaning up a few lines here on his own. It is 310 against 310, so it is neck and neck here between these two players. Tommy taking a double here, while Matt taking a double, while Tommy is now potentially going for the center. Well, no, Tommy is cleaning this up, is one line away from being open. We can see Matt also cleaning this up, is open once again. Closes the world here to get the small hole open. Small hole is open, waiting for the next bar. Bar and Tetris to Matt, as well as soon, most likely bar and Tetris to Tommy as well. You can see that Matt has played a few more lines, I believe. So yeah, now next Tetris to Tommy. So yeah, Matt is set in the P sequence by quite a lot actually. And next Tetris to Tommy, 365 for Tommy, 364 for Matt, now 366 for Matt. It is neck and neck between these two players. There's like a few singles difference. And a Tetris that Matt has played more on lines. Next Tetris to Matt, next Tetris to Tommy, 388 against 413. As we're in the last 10 to 20 lines of level 18 here in game number 3. We haven't seen much 19 here of Matt so far, so let's see how much of 19 he will be able to show us in this game. Of course, I hope that we will see level 29 in all games that are gonna follow, including this one. And we can see 440-ish transition for Matt. So Tommy is gonna have a bit higher transition here at 480, so about a 1.5 to 2 Tetris lead here in the transition for Tommy. Matt getting a bit higher here, and the next Tetris and first level 19 Tetris to Tommy. To Matt, Tommy is setting up the next Tetris, not quite getting the piece here, taking a few burns here. Wasn't able to use the long bar here, which means he is now getting a bit higher, taking only a single here, now taking a safety triple, not quite getting the bar. We can see Matt being in quite a lot of trouble here now, but got the perfect pieces to clean this up. So nice cleanup here by Matt, was quite efficient here. We can see on Tommy's side, now closing the well, which was a good decision. Was quite high, going for the center. So yeah, this is a bit nervy game, but dirty center Tetris for Tommy. Tommy at 530 against 419 on Matt. So Tommy is now starting to build up a small lead here on level 19, while Matt is now finally open in a low state, which means he can set up for the Tetris, a setup for Tetris, waiting for the bar. The bar does not fall down so far here on Matt's side. Matt's side now close, and of course then the long bar does fall down. You know, there's a Tetris dance that is called closing your well, because like 80% of the time that you close your well, you get the bar just a bit later. Next Tetris to Matt, and we can see now the next Tetris to Tommy again. Tommy at nearly 600k, 529 for Tommy, 585 for Matt. And Matt taking one more burn here, so yeah, there's still pretty much neck and neck between these two players. Only Tetris and some change difference here. Next Tetris now to Matt. Matt kind of dead dropping the OPs here. And he does get the wits, perfect. So Matt could, no, okay, Matt is not going for the death well. Tommy is now a bit higher, is needing to clean the situation here up. It's gonna require a few burns that may allow Matt to get close and ahead. Ahead in pace especially, not only in points, because Matt has played a few runs more than Tommy has, but the bar just doesn't fall down. Both players are getting a bit of troubles here. Tetris to Matt now. Tommy is quite high here, the long bar doesn't go for anywhere, and that means Matt is able to win game number 3. Finally a game here in favor of Matt. And we have the GGs in chat as Matt finally was able to win a game. And Evie is saying, just one more, come on, you got this, man. You mean 3 more that Matt is gonna win. Let's see if we can get the 2-2 in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. And yup, it looks like Matt is drinking some chocolate milk. As always, try to stay hydrated, which is why I, for example, do always have a bit of water next to me that I drink. And yes, PW, you heard that correctly. I said 2-2. Z flat S flat goes crazy. Yeah, it does. And a few more messages here. AV if Matt takes 2 more games, I stay on top of the standings since Tommy will have more game losses. And that is correct, so AV does want Matt to win at least 2 more games here. Poopy was saying, because Matt taking one more game of Tommy would ensure IV tops the league. Oh, only 2 games. I thought it was 2 more games. Did I remember? Oh yeah, you're correct. Okay, my bad. Yeah, IV and Tommy in the top 2 spots here. So this is, as far as I can tell, the deciding match here. Who is gonna be on top? Is it gonna be Tommy or is it gonna be Matt? Kip asking, is it best of 7 here? It is best of 6. The format is inspired by the UEFA Champions League. So if you win a match, you get 3 points for the standings. If you draw a match, you get 1 point for the standings. So for example, here we have AV who has won 5 matches and drawn 1 match, meaning he gets 5 times 3 points for winning a match and then 1 point for drawing a match. And I didn't want to offend you, AV Geek. I just always default to he. I know I should default to they because that's more inclusive. My brain just accidentally always defaults to he, so I apologize for the incorrect pronoun here. And yeah, 218 for Tommy, 156 for Matt, so Tommy being around about 60k ahead of Matt here. And next Tetris to Matt, next Tetris to Tommy. What the heck? I'm confused. What did I just do? Lol, I didn't know what I do, I just did something funny. And keep asking AV Geek, what's your favorite aircraft? AV Geek answering, the one I get to fly. That's the perfect answer. And hopefully the one that you get to fly to CTWC DAS 2025, which is gonna happen on the 17th to 19th of July this year in Cologne, the Experience. And as Danny is saying, nice segue to our sponsor, as certain Linus branded YouTube channel would say. And no, Avigi can't make it this year. I hope that I hope 2 things. First of all, that we will find a date that's a bit easier for Americans. That's, well, the hard thing is, in that regards, if you have it outside of the holidays, then people who are in school and university have a tougher time making it. But if you have it during the holidays, it's more expensive. So there's always balancing that. And talking about balancing, getting the next Tetris quite high here. Okay. Important burns here on Matt's side. Kip saying the change of CWC to summer means I can never do it. Also kinda fair point. There's just so many different Tetris events. There's the CWC, which is focusing on Open. We have the CTWC DAS, which is focusing on DAS. We have the Jonas Cup, which is a regional for the CTWC DAS. So there's 3, you could I would say, major events in NTSC. Then we also have the CTEC, which is the major PAL event. A ton of tournaments in person that you want to check out, and you sadly can't check out all of them. Cox then is saying, I'm hoping I can come to Germany, also since I have many friends with couches I can sleep on. Perfect, that does save quite a lot of cost. That's also what I do in many events. So for example, we have CTWC Paris coming up, there I'm also pretty much just gonna sleep on a couch. And point-wise we have 467 for Tommy against 342 here for Matt, as we're in the last 10-15 lines here of level 18. So the transition is gonna come up soon, which means I can pay not that much attention anymore to the chat, kinda sadly. As now the gameplay is more important. Next Tetris to Matt into 410. Just 2 lines left to go for the transition, and we have a 520 transition on Tommy's side against 435 for Matt, so we have about a 90k lead, I'd say, here for Tommy in the transition. Nice transition state here for Matt. And yeah, I really want Matt to win 1 more game here. Kinda tougher board now on Tommy's side. Still quite possible if you get the pieces, and yeah, Tommy got the LJ piece here. So the kinda tougher board on Tommy's side is now fully under control once again, I'd say. And on Matt's side, we can see the next long burn to Tetris and to 5-14 for Matt against 5-57 for Tommy. Yeah, so this 19 transition has been looking quite nice here. And next Tetris to Matt. Next Tetris to Tommy as well, 6-16 for Tommy, 5-99 for Matt, so this is quite close of a game once again. Tommy burning a few lines here, having a small hole in the stack, getting a T-piece for a nice flat cleanup of that situation here. Matt missing the spin, which is gonna mean a bit more burning down Matt's side. Matt getting the next bar into Tetris into 6-31 for Matt against 6-48 for Tommy. Tommy getting the item 2 Tetris here, and as yeah, now able to go for the standard duel once again. Matt had to clean this single here, and a bit more cleanup here now on Matt's side of a few lines here. And Tommy at about a 70k lead here. As Matt just got one more Tetris in, of course, which is what he wants. He wants to get as many Tetrises to catch up and overtake Tommy here. But double AJ dependency, triple AJ dependency in total now here on Matt's side. Matt is getting quite high. He's getting the lumber only a single burn, but getting the T-piece over, which means Matt tops out at 670. And we have 3-1 for Tommy. Next up, it's gonna be match point for Tommy. And as Fubi was saying, Tommy just looks unbeatable. Does depend on who you pair him up against. Like, you have so many high-level Tetris players that I wouldn't say that any one of them looks unbeatable, depending on their opponent. Not saying that Matt is a bad player, it's just that we have, you know, the current seed number 2, or rank number 2, but so if you, for example, had Tommy against AV happening here, it would surely look much closer, but Tommy could get a nice comp max out, let's see if he can get that. We had one earlier happening already, so this would be the second Des comp max out here of the day. Next Tetris to Tommy. Tommy wants to get the final bar, getting the bar, and max out to Tommy a 2-5. And we have Matt ready for the match point for Tommy. If Matt wins the next game, then we are guaranteed to get all 6 games of the match. And if Tommy wins the next game, then we have the match finished, and we can take a look at the standings, which will realistically include the top 2 players here. So let's start Tommy versus Matt. Match point in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So both players had to burn a bit here in the beginning. Matt is currently close. We have a bit of a drought situation happening here. Tommy also having a few holes in the stack. Tough situation here for these players so far. Matt is now 4 lines away from being open once again. Tommy is cleaning up the mess in the center. And now 2 more lines once again here for Matt. 2 more lines once again here for Matt. Is now open. And so is Tommy. Tetris to Matt. Matt getting the first Tetris after 14 lines played. Tommy getting his own Tetris after 16 lines played. Suffer start here for these 2 players. But we can see now these players being open and bar into Tetris here for Matt, as well as soon bar into Tetris, I assume, here on Tommy's side. Yeah, we're getting bar into Tetris for Tommy as well here. Kinda high board for Matt, but he's getting a few nice small burns in. Next Tetris to Matt here. And yeah, if you look at the points, this has been a suffer start. 100k at about 40 lines is quite a lot behind where you normally wanna be. The good thing is that if both players have a suffer start and a suffer seed, like with a long drought in the beginning, that's a pretty tough seed to play. But yeah, the nice thing about that is that you're not falling behind at least. You know that your opponent has had the same situation and has had the same stress. And Witz for Tommy into Tetris at 167 and 170 on Matt's side. A few 1,000 points left to go here, and next Tetris to Matt into 193 against 167 for Tommy. Next bar into Tetris for Tommy. You're pretty close to the halfway point of game number 5. And so far it's a pretty neck and neck game. We had a rough opening. And then both players getting about the same amount of Tetrises, but actually it looks like Matt is now able to build up a small lead. As we have 241, 262, yeah. It's like a tiny lead. But now Matt needs to win a few lines, which pretty much negates the lead once again. As we have the next Tetris for Tommy and 266 against 266, where Matt is still needing to clean up a few more lines here. Getting the next bar, and once one bar for the cleanup now. Getting the Witz, nicely done here by Matt. And open, getting the bar. And from now on can play one high. One high is definitely a playable height at 18 and 19 speeds, so let's see if Matt has just decided to play one high into 19. I would probably recommend that to him. At this point I can't say it for sure, but when you're like at 110 lines above players, it's much easier to recommend what would be a sensible decision. But yeah, of course, these players are much better players than I am, so if they do something different, then that's good intuition, I'd say. Point-wise, we now have 342 for Tommy against 393 for Matt. Matt having played 12 lines more, which is 70k, so we have like 360 against 320 in reality. Which means that we have a nice pace lead here for Tommy. But not Tommy needing a long bar here, getting the long bar already. Could try to go for a center. Dirty. Okay, no, he's not building that up. He's cleaning it up. Cost him a bit in lines. And Matt is transitioning at only 3 lines here. 2 lines left to go, waiting for the final possible Tetris, but no transition at 429, 429 transition here for Matt. Matt in a bit of a rougher shape, getting the next LPs over to the left. To the right, left side, now kind of tough to access early shifting the JPs here, and this could be the end for Matt in this game. We need something for the left side, thanks to the next OPs, which means Tommy, your goal is 435, 435 is your goal, and this most likely does mean that we will get the same game and points for the top 2 places, and then I actually don't know how that's done. Probably by like the first name. So my guess is that by name, AV Geek will still be in rank number 1. Let me do the matches here, the reporting real quick. We had Tommy getting 4-1 against Matt Martin, perfect. And thanks for the raid, Chroma. I'm also saying, thanks for the stream, Ghost Tommy, GG's. Of course, instead of goes, that's just autocorrect. And thanks to playing for match, congratulations to Tommy for winning the match in 4-1. So let's take a quick look at the bracket. As we can see, a V-Geek in rank number 1, Tommy in rank number 2, the same amount of points, the same amount of game differences. So yeah, that is gonna be quite hype in the playoffs. Then we have Solid Sofa, Chilla, Merkos, Bendy, Giovanni, SV, LXT, Leo, Hideri, and Vance currently in the places for our playoffs. But we are gonna make the deadline a bit longer because, as you most likely saw, there has been a bit of, you know, lack of matches played, you could say. And yes, so thanks for watching. I hope that all of you had an amazing time over here at DAS Tetris, the DAS Champions League. So see you in whenever the next stream is gonna be, most likely next week, Sunday. And now we're gonna raid any shark. Thanks for watching, have a great and such a current time, and goodbye.